Okay, and I'm gonna live stream, or I'm live streaming to the YouTube channel, but it's as a backup. We're not actually live streaming anywhere.
Can everybody hear me okay on this phone?
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, hold on here. What's going on?
Um, Gabe, do me a favor when we get to the Q&A, because my phone here, I can't really see all the chats and see everybody's face at the same time. So maybe if we get to questions, Q&A, you can kind of help me out with that. On what
Absolutely. Yep. Let me live stream. Stop the live stream. Okay, so I got to figure out. Give me 1 second here for this. Sorry. I just got to make one more connection to the backup. So we want to make sure that this gets recorded with a backup. Okay, so everyone got the email then an hour ago. I realized that the 24-hour warning didn't go out. But I'll make sure that we have proper, warnings coming up. Okay, perfect. Okay, so update the streaming URL. Can you give me 1 more second here? Streaming URL. YouTube. Key, copy. And then paste the stream key here. Okay, so when I do this now, look at that. Okay.
we good?
We're good.
Awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and read over my disclaimer, some ground rules here that we do every meeting. Just someone say welcome to the Tattoo Business Talks. My name's Derek. I'm on a mission to empower tattoo artists to master the art of business and keep raising your standards as you do so. I aim to provide practical advice, proven strategies, and a fresh perspective to help you build a thriving, sustainable business. Before we dive in, just a quick disclaimer. We'll share valuable insights and actionable tips. The talk is not a substitute for legal matters, accounting needs, or a licensed therapist. Please consult qualified professionals for guidance specific to your situation. To make this a productive space, here's some ground rules. Be respectful, stay on topic, avoid interruptions or disruptive behavior. Use the raise hand signal, and when we get to the Q&A, we're all here to learn and grow from each other. So have an open mind, be willing to take action with anything that's provided. And we love to hear your insights on anything from the talk today. Some of the clips from today's talk may be used on YouTube or social media. So if anyone's uncomfortable with sharing, you are not forced to. When it comes to any talks, including sensitive personal information or personal finance information, we will not make this information live to the public. I'm excited to guide you on this journey and elevate your business and craft. So let's get started. Thanks for being here. How many people are in the room today? I can't see all this on my phone.
13.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So not sure who all here was last week. Who here is new, but I want to go over last week a little bit, just kind of recapping on what was talked about. I was discussing about being in tattoo business, regardless if you're a independent contractor or you own a tattoo shop. You're all business owners in my eyes and government eyes. So that being said, we talked about every business owner wearing three hats. When we have these three hats on, which I call entrepreneurship hat, the artist hat, and the manager hat, every time we wear one of these hats, it's kind of like we're donning a new personality. And unfortunately, these personalities love to conflict. Like the entrepreneur hat, every time I wear the entrepreneur hat in my supply company, I bring a lot of chaos. I bring a lot of all the great ideas that of my vision, but then my managers look at me like I'm crazy because that manager hat is about bringing the order. So if you're just a solopreneur working on your own, you're conflicted many times in doing this. And the artist hat that you wear just wants to be in the chair tattooing, just wants to do the day-to-day operations and make some revenue happen. So they're really conflicting, but they can work together. And so we discussed about building in systems. Some of the greatest tattoo shops out there, they're not dependent on the great artists to really make themselves great. They're really systems oriented. They have a really wonderful systems in play. Gabe was a testament to that with the shops that he owned. His systems, I've been able to see the back end of it. It's extremely impressive. And some of the best tattoo shops that I work with that have many artists working in them are very systems dependent as well. So, getting on top of your systems is key. And that's what we discussed last week. I also discussed some of the most, guiding principles that for a really great tattoo shop to happen. Number one being a well-defined system, our creation, what we're doing. And that's every department of our company, from how we communicate with clients to how we clean our studios, to how we train other people. These are all, part of our systems. Second, documentation. We got to document all this stuff down. I always like to document in a way that I could easily train another person to do. So when I'm really defining my notes, I need to make sure that it's relatable, in doing this. So it's great to go ahead and brainstorm all that stuff down, but then refining it is the next step. And then delegation, understanding what the roles and responsibilities are in your shop. If you're by yourself, you're all the roles and responsibilities, but you still need to define exactly what those are. So when you're juggling them, you have a little bit better understanding and they're not conflicting as much. But when it comes to like, hey, maybe you own a shop and you want to get a counter person on, or you have a counter person, are they aware of how distinct their roles and responsibilities are? If they're not, then you need to definitely define it and document it better. And then we want to run our companies as a scale, something that we can actually scale, we can actually grow. So is there a system in place for how we're going to grow? A lot of us just think that, hey, we just make more money and that's our growth. And that's really not the case. Us, maybe getting into a bigger location or taking on more tattooers or, owning our own shops, whatever, is going to require some growth. And we have to have a systems in place to understand how we're going to get there. And then the last one is our customer focus. Are we creating the kind of experience that our clients will come to us, and then want to come back again? So that's really important. And that's kind of what I want to really hone in on today, because I've seen two major pitfalls when it comes to tattoo shop owners. And one of them is really, their own tie-ups, the psychology around their running their business. A lot of them have a lot of limiting beliefs, and, they're kind of stuck in thinking that they can do a certain thing, but they're not really embodying the identity of that role, and we can get into further discussions in a little bit here on beliefs versus identity. But I see the psychology involved with it as a problem. And I'm also seeing the client experience as a problem too. And those are the two things I really want to discuss, and things that kind of hold us back, as well. Am I talking too fast, guys? How am I doing here for you?
Nope, but you might take some breaths and
Have
something to drink. Right, we've got about 14 people in now.
I'm breathing funny today because I'm stuffy as shit. So I'll try to breathe a little bit more here. So
I'm just saying if it's all
okay,
good.
all right. Um, so I was thinking the other day about why I'm doing this for you guys and like bringing this together, talking about the business side of tattooing. And I really feel like in the time that we're in right now with so many tattooers, and we just had this gold rush, and we just had this like really big influx of new tattooers coming in to our industry, and a lot of people saying online about oversaturation. Of course, I hear that a lot. I do feel like the saturation I'm seeing, because some of them do become new customers of mine in the supply company. A lot of them, are lacking skill, of course, with their art, and that shows, and they don't really have good business skills as well. So I really feel like my mission is to help you guys here, at least on your business skills, to make our industry a little bit better. I really feel like we need to get out of this uh, title of being a pirate industry and more into the title of being a professional industry. And I know we can drop that as a whole when we come together like a group like this, and we create a community where we can share ideas and talk about how we can better our businesses. That's my intention here. So um but that being involved, to get better in your business, it really comes down to you become an expert role in every department of your business. So you have to, you're maybe not feeling like you're, good enough with, with time management, or you're not good enough with your, customer interactions, or, whatever it may be for you, but you are a business owner. You will have to find a way to become an expert in those roles and doing the best you can. So, we'll kind of discuss throughout the rest of this month, and well, I guess this is the end of the month here, and through a couple weeks into December, more about the business systems in place, and some guiding principles that might help us all with it. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to be kind of switching it up to the financial systems in place, and we're going to start talking about finance by the end of the year. I do have um, a couple tax accountants that want to come on and do a talk and do a Q&A hour with them too. So hopefully that'll be helpful. So by the end of the year, we'll have that. They're pretty excited about coming on board. And we're going to be discussing more about some economic shifts as well. And I have some good insight into the economy, where it's at and where it's going as well. I do want to share. So we'll start with that. And then through January, we're going to talk about my methodology on your finance systems, because I really want you guys to start as strong as you can for 2025, so you can stay ahead of things, and maybe not keep getting behind on stuff like taxes. Hint, hint, if it's speaking to you.
Oh,
So
now's a good time to plug the relay or whatever automated system you're suggesting, because I'm with
yeah,
you. I have
yeah,
a tax account and it's got dough in it. I'm not freaking out. It's crazy. And it
yeah, yeah.
happens automatically. That's the
Gabe actually became a client of mine in my beta form, I think back in April or so, and I work with him on his financial structure with a methodology called Profit First, written by a gentleman named Mike Malkowitz, who's actually my mentor. I'm a student of his and have been a whole year.
I
And
mean,
he's taught me strategies on your banking system that really alleviate a lot of the headache of how you're budgeting and balancing your money systems. So we'll be discussing that in January. You can look at details about this system on my website, Tattoo Builders. Um, there's some banking systems on there like Relay Bank, which is I'm an affiliate partner with. So I will plug them. I don't make money off of these guys, but I definitely believe in their systems. And Gabe has been able to integrate that into his system, and now for the first time is now seeing tax money set aside in a way that he's never done before. So I know how it is right now for a lot of you. A lot of you right now are starting to think, oh shit, I'm scrambling. I need to get some tax money saved up here because I know I'm going to owe next year. Um, or maybe not. Maybe you have a good accountant who's already giving you some clarity on, you're not going to owe anything, but, either way, there's still ways to help you for 2025. And I want to see you guys all kind of build a really great financial systems around around your businesses, around your careers. So,
Okay, now back to your regular scheduled programming. Someday we'll
yeah.
have like bumpers and add music, but
Excuse me. Back to where I was at. Where was I at? Um, so I wanted to talk about the customer experience because it seems to be something I'm seeing quite a bit as a real problem for people right now. There's a lot of people that are not doing well financially, and I know that just by having a better client retention systems in place, it could really help. And I think that's where the discussion needs to go today. And I really want to be hearing from you guys in the near future here on like what ideas and stuff like that you guys are working with. But when I was thinking about when I own tattoo shops, I was in a tourist town and we had a good client base, but a lot of times in tourist towns, we just get like people come in for a quick little banger and they're out the door, and if somebody's coming into your tattoo shop just once and getting a tattoo and you never see them again, they're not a client. If they're buying from you once, consider them that. They're a customer. If they come back twice, they're a client. Then those are the ones that we're really trying to like, gather right now and hold dear and, keep them in the door because they keep coming back, so that's why I think that experience that you're giving them right now is so key to your success. Like, your way of how you interact with them, which, through your customer, relations, how you're communicating with them, how you're following up with them, how you're email or texting them reminders on their appointments. All this stuff really matters, you know, just as something as simple as like knowing their name. Like when I had my client base in Bend, Oregon years ago, I made a point of it. Luckily I had release forms so I could go back and see, and I knew who I was talking to, but I would make notes on those release forms as to like what their dog's name was or what their significant other's name was on the release form, just so I had something to talk about. People love to hear their name because they feel seen, and it's just such an important thing when you walk in the door and you're like, hey Jim, hey Sally, how are you doing, how are the kids? That shit goes a long ways. That should be part of something you put into your systems, because we are a customer service industry, and we need to work accordingly. So get refined with it, make it something that's repeatable and something that you're training others to do. Demand that if you own a tattoo shop and you have other artists working with you, you can have that leadership meeting with them where you're discussing this stuff, to where everybody's on the same page. And you don't just have like a couple people that are really great with clients and you put them at the front of the house, which I normally see. The most talkative ones are in the front, and then the grumpy pants are in the back of the shop. Like we could really just get everybody, at least on the same page of how we treat our clients coming in the door. And even our customers, a lot of people that come in for one tattoo, which probably say to you, I'm just here for just, I just want to get one tattoo. That's it. I don't think I want to get anything else. But if you create the best experience for them, they're going to leave home with not just a great tattoo, but a different view of what our industry's like, and they're like, oh, it's not so scary. It was really easy. I really love that person that I was working with. I may want to get another one. So every single, interaction that you're having with somebody, every customer lead that you're dealing with is an opportunity for more revenue. We have to look at it that way. Every single person. So, you know, part of this, like, client experience is about, I like to call it client fulfillment, just another word for it. But, it's about getting our leads generated. How are we bringing people in the door? How are we converting them over to create more revenue? We want to create people that are lifetime with us. And even if they're not lifetime with us, we're always on the tip of their tongue when they're talking to other people. So lead generation is absolutely huge in your process. It is, I think, one of the key factors to your success will be how well you generate the leads, and then once those leads are in the door, how you convert them over into a customer. So I'm really curious because I saw a great example of this a day or two ago by somebody who's in the call here named Dash. Dash, I'm going to call on you here, who was doing a referral program on his social media. And I know you probably can't share that if you're not around a computer there, Dash, but I absolutely commend you on what you did when it came to your referral program. It's such a big thing when it comes to our lead generation right now. So I'm kind of curious, anybody has any great examples or any ideas that they want to put into place right now when it comes to bringing in more clients into their shops? Just putting everybody on blast here. Dash, are you in the house? Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm here. The client referral program.
The referral code, yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan Roy, you can do a client referral and get viewed the same as, oh man, this counting has worked. Maybe I'll just wait till he discounts it. It's just to give your current clients, kind of incentive to share. So for every client that refers a new person, that client gets $50 off. This new person gets tattooed, and the new person 20% off their session. I leave it online so that way, when I start the email drip campaign, which I meant to do last night, essentially they'll already be primed and have already seen it. Be more apt to respond to email and engage with it. And levels of follow up with that and all that stuff.
You were breaking a little bit there, but I think I got the gist of it. Anybody not understand what he was saying with this on referral codes? I think it's such a powerful tool to be using right now. Our loyal customers can be our best marketing tools out there. And so it's so important that we use them now, generating new leads, which should be a part of your process too. This is a constant for us, and it's something that gets overlooked a lot when we get busy. And even when we are busy, it is about generating new leads that get us through the next day, especially if you're in a scalable company that's trying to grow as well and you're trying to get more people in the house. The generation of leads needs to be consistent. Finding a good process that works, seeing if, just playing around with it. And if it works, great. If not, then adopt something new and move on. But it's important that this is part of your systems, and writing this out as to what you're going to do is going to be the roadmap to your success as well. Now, you're going to hear me say this over and over again. I cannot say it enough about writing stuff down. I mentioned it a lot in the last meeting. I'm going to keep mentioning it in all the meetings going forward. But the idea is that when we get stuff from our brain onto paper, is that we're making a neuroscientific connection. We're channeling a new way of doing things, So it's like literally our circuitry in our brain is starting to shift when we write stuff down. So that's why I say get it down. We're so good as entrepreneurs that we We have all the ideas about lead generation. We have all the ideas about how to convert a client over. But when it comes to actually doing it and making that stuff happen, that's where we have a disconnect, So as much as I'm like teaching you guys here on the importance of how to get your business better and stuff like that, if you're not taking any action on this and stuff like that, then you'll just be kind of spinning your wheels over and over again. I don't want you to see that happen. So go ahead, Gabe.
Okay, so sorry, Coburn in the chat room here. The biggest thing I found that helps is defining your art studio and clientele. And then follows that up with, they started off in a place that had $25 tattoo specials next door. The biggest thing that they realized is that those clients generally aren't their clientele. I found that my clients really want a curated experience. And so I leaned in towards that. And I guess I just to follow up with that. One of the things that we found worked incredibly well was feedback. You touched base on it last week, and having real great opportunities for people to give you their honest feedback. And and we were kind of surprised because we would get feedback from clients asking about things that we were delivering, or we thought we were delivering, or at least we had we had offered, but they didn't know about it. So we had to adjust our behaviors so that they actually knew all the cool things that we were doing for them. So so even if you're doing cool things for people, if they don't know it, if they're not told it when they're coming in through the door, then it's a lot of work for less of an effect. Anyways, I just wanted to relay that the feedback, and then I guess to your other point, when you were talking about remembering people's, just actually giving a shit and remembering, or not even really remembering, having mechanisms to remember, right? So and I was just thinking that people that are doing some of this automated stuff, and with James, and we could work with Chris, we could send the client notes to the artist automatically 15 minutes before the tattoo appointment, right? Like the internal client notes, we could just email it automatically so that as you're rolling up, you remember whatever it is that the internal note was. But then that's also how that it's kind of, you said how the value goes up, but like if you want to charge a $1,500 or $2,500 a day, you better fucking remember people's, and give a shit and care about their details, right? That's part of what makes that experience worth that premium experience.
But how would you go up and beyond that? Like you can. There's other ways, not just knowing their name. I mean,
Absolutely, that's like level one. Yeah.
Customer conversion is about surprising them in ways that they don't even see coming. So like if I was to send a holiday card to my top clients out there, just saying thanks, for all your support this year, like shit like that matters. We really love it. We make a point now in my supply company. And hopefully if you guys have ordered from us, that you have a little handwritten thank you.
Yeah.
That's on every sheet that goes out as well. Handwritten, yes, it's thought about, and it's signed by the person who packed your box. So like, because we care about you.
That's
and
perfect for apprentices, people who need to learn script.
there you go.
Yeah, and also just developing a product and making sure that you understand what the sales funnel looks like, not getting too far down the road before you have to figure it all out from scratch.
See, this is much better marketing tools right now than like the person just said in the chat room earlier, racing to the bottom. You don't need to get in the fight to lowering your costs because your competitors are doing the same. They're all just racing to the bottom. They're just going for the bottom feeders, and you're not going for the right clients when you're doing that anyways. Your value is lessening and lessening every time you do it. So I would steer clear of that 100%. Anybody have any other ideas or any kind of crafty?
Oh, we got Amber's got some just posted up here. So we are focusing on creating more walk-in or in-person experiences. So we are doing All I Want for Christmas special, where artists have discount cards and want to do designs for a special on a tree in the studio. So this drives people in to look at the portfolios and designs, as well as discounts to book during the slow season. We have an upsell program for our gift cards offering discounted prints and sticker backs to gift with our gift cards. Also great, I guess.
I think that's great. I love that.
Oh, and Dash has his hand raised.
I was gonna say, is the audio a little bit better now? I switched headphones. I don't
It is.
know.
Yes.
But like it's like
Well,
and
not really.
the experience. No, not really. Just type and read it. Sure.
Yeah, you're cutting out, but
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we used to like to do to try to generate new, yes, you can ask a question, Amanda. We would have a customer appreciation party where we would run, say, a best tattoo idea contest. And so we would invite all of our clients out to take photos, or call it a documentation party, perhaps. Or this time of year would be a holiday party. I am involved in the war on Christmas. I could tell you that it's not a very big war. I can't find too many people that really engage it. So I always have holiday parties, you know. But anyways, you could give up the best tattoo idea contest, right? So people are encouraged to drop their tattoo ideas in the box. You know, you could do it online. So people, you know, if you didn't want to do an in-person party, but then you could generate the list of, say, 20 to 50, you know, people who've like put in ideas. Some of them are stupid. 20% are just throwaway ideas, but then you get to kind of pick, and you know that the winner is going to be a pretty badass portfolio piece. So we would always, yeah, that would be one of our ways to generate ideas, and people would, you know, pass it around and whatnot.
I think Amanda had a question. I saw Amanda had a question in the chat. Was that right?
Oh,
Yes.
you need to unmute yourself, or at least we're not hearing you. I thought you were going to type it in, but yeah, feel free to hop on and.
Your bottom left will have a microphone icon.
Yeah, it looks like maybe when you connected, you might not have connected with the right audio button, because right now we're not hearing you, even though it does seem like we should. So it could be in your settings, or you could drop out and then just reconnect, and then say connect with computer audio.
Or type it in the chat.
Or type it into the chat room.
So while we're waiting on Amanda here, you know, another thing that I've seen recently, because I do look at a lot of people's websites, and you know, when I was getting into tattooing, we didn't have internet the way it is now. So, you know, we were on 200 megahertz computers, I think, at that time. So it was like, I'm just showing my age. So websites just weren't a thing, and you know, we had to rely on people walking in the door, looking in the phone book, you know, and seeing our portfolio. So they weren't doing a lot of shopping around. You know, it was easier back in those days because they would come in and we knew we had walked in the door and it was on, you know, so we knew we are going to get it, you know, especially because I was trained by a carny.
Show me something that I can't have the volume on while I'm doing this.
Oh, so Amber is now.
Okay. Let me finish my thought here really quick on this the website, and then we'll get to Amber here real quick.
I'm sorry, my daughter jumped in and my mic was on, so you were perfectly good.
Okay. And so the websites, guys, when I've been seeing a lot of them lately, I was looking at a website the other day for somebody here in Seattle, and I was like, okay, I found out where they were at, and I'm reading over the bio and looking at the portfolio, looked good. I had no idea who the person was. Not once in their website was their name mentioned. You know, it's like, who am I getting tattooed by if I go there? How many artists are there? I had no idea. It was just the bio. So there's a lot of broken websites out there with people, and I really like you to go. If you're going to do yourself a favor at all this year, before the end of the year, make it a purpose to go in and refine your website. Make it not a challenge to like find out who you are, what you're about, and your portfolio on there. Because even people have broken portfolio links. You're like, okay, they do tattoos, but what are they? I'm seeing that a lot too. And if you have misspellings on your homepage, not professional, guys. You got to really get on top of it. So get back to your websites, look at the homepage, and if you have a misspelling or grammatical errors, you can use an AI system like Grammarly, and Grammarly will help you with all that. So it'll cross your T's and dot your I's for you. So just use it. So look at the websites, get yourself better, and look at your surrounding websites, your competitors out there. Yours should stand out. You know, if you want a really great marketing tool to bring in more lead clients into your doors for that purpose of making more money, then you should stand out. Make your website, how can it be better than theirs? You know, so constantly being on top of that is key. Amanda, your turn.
Oh, still no. Oh, right now you are muted though. If you unmute yourself, let me ask to unmute.
I don't think it's working though, so I typed it out.
It is now.
It is now. We hear you.
Oh. Okay, so I put a gift certificate thing up, and I'm only at 75 an hour because I got licensed as of May, and I don't know, no one's biting, and I think it's because it's too low. And I don't know how to freaking fix that. So I already asked my first mentor if I should, because I've had to, if I should take it down. She's like, no, just leave it. It's the holidays, but I'm kind of embarrassed. And I'm not telling anyone. I've just told you guys. So what's your opinion on hourly rate, I guess?
So my quick thought, or like what we used to do, is instead of trying to devalue the hourly or the tattoo, that's when we would use the gift certificate mechanism or a credit mechanism, so that we might still be $150 an hour, but because you came out to the drawing party, or because you submitted a tattoo idea, we could give you a $25 credit or a $25 gift certificate, towards your tattoo. So it's you're not lowering the price of anything, and you're keeping your hourly at a rate that isn't too low, is respectable, and people are looking for it, but still having the ability to give certain people discounts, or again it's or give them credit towards the full price.
Value
James,
pricing is really
Derek, after you, James has his hand raised.
Yeah, totally. I was just gonna mention real quick, the value pricing of your tattoos is about, the art and science, and it's really dependent on where you're at, location, your demographics, what you're looking for, and what your experience levels looks like. So you have to take that all in consideration. It's not just about, where you're at tattooing and stuff like that. How much time did you put into it? So there's a lot of takes on this, and I like to have future discussions on value pricing. James, do you have any comments on or ideas about value pricing your tattooing?
Well, thank you, Derek. I've been moving to a half day, full day rate, and that's been getting a lot of. I've been having quite a bit of success with that. So I think now again I have a bit more experience. I'm kind of somewhat established in my area, so I've been here for a while. So I'm able to ask for a particular amount and receive it. I think that's been very empowering. My question, and this is just really I'm just curious. I really would love to know what you think. This the gift certificate mechanism that you're discussing, where where does the bite take place, right? Is it on, like say you're in a commission situation,
Yeah,
let's
yeah, yeah,
the
sure.
rental, let's say your
Yep.
commission, I'm on a certain commission with you. I
Yeah,
give the
kind of got
customer
yeah,
a coupon, and then so does it come out of the owner's side of commission? Does it come out of are you splitting this? I mean, these are the questions. I'm just curious, and
absolutely. So
I'll take
you just
my
the
question.
shop, it clearly kind of has to come from the shop owner, right? Unless you're just going to take the full bite as an artist, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. It depends on how generous you want to be. As a shop owner, instead, I would basically put that in. Instead of spending money on marketing, I would give up $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month in gift certificate or various credits. And as a shop, we ended up taking the full hit, off of it because it didn't end up being. It was more than enough to generate people, coming in and getting new tattoos and whatnot. I probably tried to start it off by saying, if you're an artist who wants to participate in this program, then let's split the hit. But I'm sure that we probably end up just taking it all because it's hard to facilitate that. It's hard. You can't split up like these tattoos this way. So, but on the other hand, again, part of it would be like if somebody was like, I just saved up all these credits for the last 5 years and now I'm getting a $750 tattoo for free. No one felt cheated. We were like, right on, okay, cool. As a shop, I pay that any day of the week. That means for 5 years, they've been telling people about the shop and what they want. And they're going to definitely fucking tell everybody about the tattoo. A couple more questions about the pricing of the tattoo here, just to shift back, and we could always go back and forth here. Amanda was then asking, so then I should be about $150 being a licensed only a few months as opposed to 75. Nicole's thinking 75 being new is still too low. Okay, sorry. Now
I think that's still really
here.
area.
So I feel 75 being new is still too low. Most shop minimums are about 100 on average. You could start lower than average, but Russ Abbott collected pricing data nationwide a few years back, and the nation average was about 160 an hour. So 150 an hour, especially if you have a shop cut, should become a standard minimum. Exactly where you land, I suppose, on the hourly is kind of a funny one. It really depends also on how fast you are and the quality of the work on how fast you are, right? So that's ultimately as an artist, right, you should value yourself as much as people will pay while you still, while you can get it. But that said, if you're slow, and that's why you're going down to 75 an hour, I don't know, you might, it depends on what your gut says, I suppose, or what the shops, what the shop owners, recommending. James, you have your hand up again.
Thank you. I think there, just in response just to what you were saying, I feel like there might be a, I don't know. I guess I don't like to start at stopwatch. You know what I mean? And then add it up at the end. I like to give them a pretty solid quote beforehand. I feel like that's a lot better. Just as a practice, that's me personally. I don't, teach their own, so no judgment. The one thing that I wanted to mention, and I don't, and I guess I don't want to be contrary at all, but Guy Atchison prices his tattoos in a range where it's like he feels like this is his audience, can afford this range. The people he wants to tattoo can afford this amount. They have to save up for it. It's like it's almost an ethical dilemma. And so it's like you don't want to price out the people, like if you astronomically price everything, and maybe we're not even talking about that yet, but just as a note, like, get the max amount probably within like the standard range that people, there's like a standard, like average range, get the most you can at. But like, I think Guy is a great example because he's like, I could probably charge whatever I want. I mean, he doesn't even talk like that. I mean, he doesn't talk like that, but he could charge whatever he wants. He doesn't. He charges like at a rate that like
I talked to him about
with his audience. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but it's something that it's like,
yeah.
I've
asked him. I'm like, why aren't you like, charging the top rate that everybody else is charging? And
right.
Ultimately, and again, I wouldn't put words in his mouth. It was a while back, and it's tinged through my biases, but mostly it was like, I don't want to tattoo people that can only afford that. I want to tattoo tattooers who want tattoos from me in the middle of nowhere and come out here in the pilgrimage, right? So
That's a good point. So you might be paying for there's all kinds of things you're paying for your experience. And so like being able to go to Colombia to the beach and get tattooed at the hotel.
yeah.
Same as a day rate in New York, something like this. Like those sorts of experiences. What are you into? And I do like that. But yeah, that might be something that's important to one as they're trying to value their time.
I service artists in both Seattle and Portland, Oregon area, and just a 3-hour driving distance. The hourly rates between the two cities is dramatically different, you know, and also you got to consider that the minimum wages in those two cities is dramatically different too. So here we are in Portland, maybe I think the minimum wage might be $50 an hour. Here in Seattle, starting of the year, $21.50 an hour minimum wage, you know, so it's a lot different. So if you're going to take a Seattle artist down to Portland and still having Seattle prices, they may not do as well in Portland. So just consider your area, you know, as well. And yeah, don't undervalue work. Of course, you know, if you're a $150 an hour artist, you know it. It's you feel it deep. You wouldn't want to be charging 75 if you feel that. That being said, I can't make a recommendation on who or what you should be charging. That comes down to you, your environment, what your competitors doing, what your mentors are talking about, and what you feel that you're worth. So
Let's see the portfolio. No, we're not going there.
yeah. All right. Any other comments or questions
No,
or help
no.
that we can deliver?
Thank you guys.
Mickey?
Nope, I was just saying thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, cool. Anyways, back to the final on this one is, your client conversion, and everybody that walks in your door is a potential client. You need to treat them accordingly. Anybody who's reaching out to you by email or on social media, it's a potential opportunity for you to make some money, and you can't take that lightly. So having a systems in place for all of that is extremely valuable to your success. And I geek out on this shit as far as getting down to the script of what I'm going to tell people. Somebody's asking a question, what am I going to be responding? How am I going to respond? How can I help tell somebody else to do the same thing that's going to be in my shop, so we're all on the same page? They're all getting the same experience, and I think that really goes and gets at the root of it. There's so many shops out there that I see recently that are really not busy. I walk into those, even if they don't know my face, and I walk in, I'm typically not getting even a hello at the door. So just a simple hello, how can I help you? Or let me show you the portfolio, just anything to deliver that you recognize that the person is standing there is such a helpful tool. I think that it goes without being said. It's just like, to me, it's common sense. But for most tattoo shops, they never learned this one. So I'm hoping that, at least you can get that today out of this, and, start treating these clients as, accordingly. So, or potential clients, I should say.
If I could add to that just a little
Yeah.
bit, some of the most effective systems to put in place are using the environment. I think you touched base about it a little bit, and like basically using the environment itself as a teacher, right? That's one of the things that comes directly from my wife. But just thinking about, like, when somebody's walking through the front door, right? It's certainly the person that's welcoming them and saying, "Hey, welcome to the tattoo shop. We're not scary. We'd love to provide you an awesome experience." But like, just, you could set that up with parts of the environment, right? So like, depending on where the couches are or where the portfolios are, the types of artwork that are on the walls, whether it's clean or not. You could have a lot of the idea seeds. You could have bodysuits designs hanging right there on the wall, so people like either get scared off because you don't have time for walk-ins, or you have flash designs right next to bodysuits, so everyone feels you could really craft, and people do often craft their environment to be part of their brand or part of their experience. But if you think about it intentionally, like every part of when you walk in, that environment, the gadgets that are there, the QR codes placed perfectly or whatever, can really be used to help deliver that experience. Don't forget to ask us about our candy bowl. Smile for the camera next to the logo, right? Oh wait, that's the picture that's the selfie spot that everyone that's on tagging their pictures on is in front of. with maybe with one of your mission or values, plastered in the background. I don't know. Anyways, I was just thinking about how some of the systems you could put into place environmentally too. Uh, it helps with some of the could help with some of the heavy lifting with the. But it works in conjunction with the people that are there too. Anyways.
Thanks, Gabe. I agree with you on this one. I would challenge everybody in this room to take an hour and to look at your shop through the eyes of your clients and really see it. Walk in the front door, not in the eyes of you as the owner, but the eyes of your client. What experience are they getting? Are they seeing trash on the floor? Are they seeing that you're tattooing off a steel tray that's on the trash can? Are they seeing things that are not going to go well with them? Believe me, they're taking notes. They may not be voicing them, but they're definitely all in consideration is that they're going to get tattooed by you is the presentation that you're giving. I know I've said this, maybe I said in the last week's meeting or one of the meetings recently, but I worked in a shop for years. All they did was they played fucking Slipknot 24/7, and I'm not a super fan of that band. And honestly, after fucking 18 months of listening to it, I was had a little bit of hatred built towards it because that's all I played. But did I ever see the grandma in my chair ever come back in and become a client of mine? No. Did I ever see that, a frat boy or sorority girl come back into that shop for a second tattoo? Nope. There was a certain client base that it was receiving, and it wasn't always my favorite, because they weren't always paying as good. So
Heavy metal night.
So I agree with Gabe. Create the environment that brings them in. If you just remember that everybody's experience walking in the door should be something that's, soothing and inviting, and it's going to keep them coming back for more. Like I always made a point of it too, is like getting the playlist of the customers that I'm dealing with. What kind of music are they into? What genre are they into? I'll sacrifice it, man. Maybe I'm not big into this genre myself, but believe me, for the next 3 hours, I can tolerate it. If it makes them happier and they're at ease, they're going to sit in my chair a lot better. So, consider all these things as well. A bottle of water, man, goes a long ways to a client. These are things that we should do. I know people like to do the vending booth and stuff like that in their showroom, and that's great and all, but you can at least give them some bottled water.
Can I tell a story about the goodies?
Please.
And it also has to do with feedback. So we were going for luxury class, right? We had like a ballroom, and at this point, probably 12 to 15 tattooers, and we had our coffee station, and our chocolates, right? And so as we started to take feedback from people, I remember the first month someone was like, this was great. You know what? Actually, I have a screen share behind me. This is like the feedback form. I think this is showing right. So like this is now I'm fucked. I don't know. Sorry. Now I can't. Now I don't know what's going on. So this here is like the feedback form, and these were all the questions, and then people would, give us all of their info. So this is just, at this point it was just a straight up Google form. And so one of the things that they said, we had a great time. It was awesome. It would have been great if you had some coffee. I'm like, you fucking had to walk by the coffee station to like get your tattoo. Like you literally had to walk by the coffee station. But then, kind of to Derek's point, there wasn't a system put in place to tell people about the coffee station. Okay, let's put that into our opening script. So now when people came in, we tell them about the coffee station. Then everybody knew about the coffee station, whether they liked coffee or not. And then the next month, we were getting feedback, and it was no chocolates, or you got to have some sugar or candy. I'm like, I eat a fucking pound of chocolate a day out of the candy closet. I mean, the storage closet, and we probably had to walk by. But then when we realized, wait, maybe like let's hand deliver the water, right? Like instead of waiting for people to ask, we started to drop off the candy twice a day. Real simple thing to do. Just drop off the candy twice a day. Hey, or we probably were geeky enough to have like a natural alternative. Would you like a slice of orange? Maybe not a slice, whatever it was. But that was all from feedback from our client. And again, we were trying to do our best. Some of it we had already implemented it. We had the chocolates there, and we had the coffee station there. but it wasn't part of our, systems. So like it was effective most of the time, but not all the time until we tightened it up.
All right. Systems, guys. This stuff's important. I know it's really difficult sometimes. We can get all the systems written out, and then implementing things are really hard. And I totally get it. That's where I can also help you guys as well on this. On my website, Tattoo Career Builders, if you ever want to do an assessment, like you want to work with me on getting stuff implemented, all of your ideas are great and stuff like that. But if you're not taking an action on it, it can, just be an ending, never ending battle. So I'd love to help you guys out. I see a few people in the room here that I'm actually working with already currently. 2025, I am offering a mentor service group. We go on, we do an overhaul and a foundational setup for your business systems. And we're going to be really defining your finances first. I want to make sure that your return on investment working with me are happening in your first quarter. So, yeah, if you ever need any help on this end, please reach out to me. We can do a free call and just see if we'd be a good connection or not. The people in the room right now that I'm working with, I absolutely love, and I can't wait, to help them. I know one of them in the room right now worked with me last year, and here she is coming back for an entire year. So, yeah, love to see.
Sorry, I missed Dash's post here. So if we have time for one more post.
Yeah,
maybe?
please.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Time for one more post with 5 points. So let's go through them all, and then maybe we'll pick one to pick up on. So sorry, I keep losing audio. For client retention, a few things that I do, probably all a no-brainer, although you'd be surprised. The bar is set low for tattoo shops. I'm not saying they're not great ideas. I'm just saying the main point is, okay, so for consults, I introduce them to the entire team that is present and show them the full studio, both floors. Awesome, presuming that everybody on your team is cool. And again, everything's somewhat intentional. That's awesome. Real cool. Number two, when they come in for the appointment, if I could get them to laugh, even nervously, within the first 5 minutes, you have an opportunity to connect. Absolutely. Humor is a fantastic strategy, especially if you're funny. Okay, three, check in throughout the process, making sure that they are heard, have what they need, and are enjoying the process. Yes, it sucks sometimes, but it doesn't mean that we can't have fun. Awesome. Oh, snacks is number four. We have a snack room with all kinds of curd. I offer it to them free of charge and then just reimburse the shop myself. At some point, your shop owner should probably pay for all of their clients to have the snacks, but whatever. I'm not. But you are also an independent contractor, so paying for it for yourself, so your clients have best in class experiences. Great. We got 2 more points, and then we could. Then I'll slow down. Number five, at the end of the session, show off the new tattoo to everybody so that we could pump the client up and share in the excitement. Also, wicked fantastic. There's nuances to some of it. If you do that like 3/4 of the time, then a quarter of the time the clients are like, why the fuck didn't I get shown around and put in front of the photo booth and feel like great, right? So it is often you need, like with all these things, you need to make sure it's done like every time for the full effect. And then lastly, again, same thing, always take a picture. I've noticed since I've got a normal Canon camera, people feel extra special about it and love to see what the pics look like on the camera view. Absolutely 100%. We would use that part of your end tour. And this is somewhat old school, right? You could show off the tattoo to all the tattooers. Everyone goes oohs and ahs. You bring them up to the photo station. You take pictures. They go ooh, in front of the lights for my 5 minutes. And then when they don't get their picture posted up online, you got to figure out excuses for that. But anyways, main point is those are all great. Oh, number seven. Oh shit. I'm going. We got 1 more minute. Number seven. I offer a few different methods for client wrap. So it's not just the saran wrap if they are allergic to Sanoderm or whatnot. Healing is a whole can of worms. We can't open up this 30 seconds. Goodie bags, fucking awesome goodie bags. I love them. Cost me less than $3.50. Contains aftercare instructions, hustle butter, hustle bustle ingredient lists, 2 stickers, candy, electrolyte package, and a couple of business cards to hand out. Perfect. And then there's a 1 week and a 1 month text checkup. Okay, Dash. That's a fucking very comprehensive set. You ready for level 2?
I love the final there too. The 1 week check-in. Checking back with your clients. It's really key. It's also going to help improve your artwork as well. You'll be able to see those things back at the door. Some things that maybe you're like, I don't know if I want to see that again. It's probably a good idea that you do see it.
Yeah.
So, follow up with them.
I might just add one more thing. You could add like a 4-month check-in that invites them to get to come in so that they could get their healed tattoo photographed and maybe even get a video testimonial from them, at the shop.
Oh, good
And
stuff.
then they're back in the shop and you get fucking healed pictures.
All right. Hey, I want to thank all you guys coming here. I think, Nicole, thank you. You just dropping some great stuff too. Hopefully you guys' notes are full today. You got some new ideas. If you're not implementing, some of these things, then, take the opportunity to do it. And also take the opportunity this week to look at your doors from your client's perspective. Shift that a little bit. It's going to really help you guys. We're going to continue on this, not this topic, but on other parts of systems in our company next week. And we will be following up here in a few weeks. We'll be jumping into the financial systems, which I'm really excited about, and help you guys before the end of the year. So thanks for being a part of this, and love to see all you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.